Well, good evening, folks. I know this is Monday, the 18th of September 2017, which you think, why this date to do one of these videos? Well, or audios, or, well, anyway, to do the Isaac David Brigmond show. Well, something got on my mind, and I thought I ought to talk to y'all about it. Today, I want to talk about, I was watching YouTube, and I seen these young men that was considered the sleepy man banjo boys. And they were little boys. One was 9 years old playing the banjo, and I think one was 11 or something. I mean, it was just the way that they were doing this stuff. They were playing bluegrass. And then you find out they're from New Jersey, and you're like, wow. So the point is that when kids start out young playing instruments, it makes you really wonder, like, wow, there are people out there that actually play these instruments, and you don't really know what to think about it until it's happened. I mean, like it gets to you, because you go to crying sometimes when kids are doing stuff like that. And there's some kids I know today that are actually showing their kind-hearted ways to people, and you didn't even know they were doing these things. You didn't know that this stuff was going on, and it'll get to you, and it'll really touch your heart. And sometimes you just have to sit back and think, why is it we got all these kids that do these things, but then sometimes kids do better than their own parents or their own pews do, or the adults do. I've seen kids do things that I know adults should take a lesson from, and the adults won't, because it's just the way life is. I mean, adults don't think to talk about the things that they need to talk about. They talk about the things that make no sense and think that that's what's going to make the sense. To talk that way, to be that way, to act that way. And you know what? I don't live like that, and you know you don't either. Let's stop all this mess we're doing and just wake up, wise up, smart up, and say, you know what? We got to grow up. Because I know good and well, this ain't getting nowhere when we do this trash. And I've seen people get so mad because they didn't get it straight when they done it. Give an example. If I was to buy a gun, and then next thing I know, someone got shot, well, then I turn around and then end up, well, this didn't work the way I planned on it going. It didn't go the way well, if you'd have been more careful with that gun, you wouldn't have had that problem. So, and then there's kids out there being nice to people, bending over backwards, doing things for folks that they didn't have to do for. And yet the adults are putting themselves out there, not even willing to think like that. They want to be the kind of people that say, if you don't do for them, they won't do for you. But kids, they'll be doing things for folks knowing they didn't have to. And then the adults still acting like, not me, because you didn't do nothing for me first. And you know what? That's a stupid way to live, because if we lived that way all our lives, where would we be? We'd be going in circles, going in directions that I don't think we need to go in. And you know what? It's getting ridiculous when you cannot talk to somebody because of the fact that if you don't talk to somebody and tell them, hey, look here, I got to tell you something, a lot of times people don't get nothing done. I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to say right now. Say you're a guy, and you've been a good guy, and you've been doing what you're supposed to do, and everything seems right. But you find out one day you got a problem, and what do you do about it? Sometimes you just have to find that person that God told you to talk to. And if I haven't told you before, I'm Isaac David Brigmond, also known as the pastor of the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship online ministry. And I just want y'all to know that I'm here for y'all when y'all need me. But it bothered me also to think that, did you hear about that boy at, I think it's University of Georgia, Athens? Wow, I think that's the school. If I got that wrong, correct me. And I'm a Georgian boy myself, age 36. And When I heard that about this guy, if you hadn't heard it yet, look it up. It's about a guy that he stabbed a bunch of people. He was a student there, and he stabbed a bunch of people. And then next thing you know, he killed himself. And no, and a lot of people said he had mental issues. They never really did get to the root of why he done these things, but it makes you think. Makes you think. Then we're watching all these storms like Maria and Lee and Jose and all them, and we're like, why in the world are we getting bombarded with all these storms? But you know what? It was going to happen probably anyway. I mean, at certain times of the year, it just happens that way. You can't say yes and you can't say no about it. It's going to happen and it's going to happen. And we got to quit freaking out because a storm came by and freaked us out so bad we didn't know what to say or do about it. Because if you do that over and over and over, let these things get to you, that's what you're doing. And we shouldn't do that, folks. We should wise up, wake up, smart up, and say that if we've done good in life, and if the world is going to end on us, it'll end. And if it does, then we're going to end up going upwards. But people freak out over storms sometimes, and they don't realize, yes, worry about a storm, but don't put yourself in that position where you worry so bad, you freak out, you get scared, you get worried, and don't know what to do. I say, worry about your health. Worry about your abilities. But please, by all means, quit this quarreling and fussing about, well, I can't say this and I can't do that. Why? Why can't you? Because you haven't put yourself out there to let the world know that something's bothering you. You just say, if it bothers me, I fuss and quarrel about it instead of talk to people about it. What I mean. We got people fussing and quarreling about the president. Don't even bother to talk to the people they need to talk to about it. Like, hey, man, I got this problem going on here, and here's what it's about. Okay, I love you people, but if you're going to fuss and quarrel about this stuff, would you wake up, wise up, smart up, and realize that we're not sitting in a world of, I got to talk to you about what's going on with the president that I don't like, and then I don't do nothing about it. I say, if I got to do something about it, go right ahead and do it. Don't hesitate. The day you hesitate is the day you waited a little too long for this stuff. So what I'm saying is, God's the first person you should talk to. Say, I don't like something the president's doing. Then God directs you in the way he wants you to go to solve your problem. We can't live in I don't know. We can't live in I did know, but I didn't want to talk about it. We can't live in none of those attitudes. We have to live in a world of, I did what I did because I had a reason, and I spoke my reason out to God first, so God could tell me where to go with this later on down the road. If we don't wake up, you're going to realize we're going to say something one day to somebody, and it's going to be about someone, and somehow it's going to get back that person that you said something about them, and they're going to be like, you're in trouble, sir. You talking about so-and-so. See what I mean? I don't want to live like that. I want to live in a world where I know I can wake up, walk down the street. No, I'm not fixing to get in trouble for something I said about somebody. Quite frankly, why did the world tell it? Why did the world spout it off? You know, I love God and I love Jesus, but I don't think it's a good idea for a person to slander God's name, slander Jesus' name or the president's name or anyone's name without first finding out if they've actually done something wrong. And you don't slander. You talk about it. You tell God, I feel someone's doing something they shouldn't do. So what do I do about it? Well, when you get told what to do about it, you should do what God told you to do. I mean, that's why we got problems in the world today. Nobody talks things out. They want to fuss and fight and quarrel. Or if they talk it out, you such and such and dee get to fussing. I say God's the way to go first. But what I'm getting at is, I think that there's a lot of talent in this world that are young men and women who just are too scared to come out and show what they got because they've been told if they show their true talents, they're going to look funny. Like, oh, no, don't show your true talent to these people. They're going to think you're gay, or they're going to think if they don't think you're gay, they'll think you're a nerd. If they don't think you're a nerd, they'll think you ugly or something. Always a stopping point they give you. And I say, kids these days, if you got a talent that makes God smile, show it. Don't act like you gotta hide it because you feel as though, someone's gonna make fun of you. If God gave you a talent that He smiled upon, it means that you use that talent to the best of your abilities. And parents, don't scare your kids. And if you do allow your kids to do these things, would you allow them to do it because they need to do it? Not because you're saying, well, if they do this, then you have this thing where you say, if I do this, then this is what's going to happen if I do it. I say, well, that's a good idea to a certain extent, but I don't know. And I feel like that if you live in a world of I want to do something a certain way and you can't get that done, I wouldn't say get mad about it. I'd say, God, was it meant for me to do that thing in the first place? Because if it wasn't, that's why it messed up. I mean, that's what I can see with that. But see, people get to the point where they don't want to hear that. They want to hear, I can't do this because if I do this, it's going to look bad, or I tried to do this and it didn't work, so I won't get frustrated about it. We have to realize in our world that we live in a world of I should be able to do what I want as long as what I want is for the betterment of God, to better His relationship with others, to make His relationship stronger. And we should come together and say, we don't let no government stop us from achieving that goal, and we don't let nobody stop us, because we have the right to be the next president who should be a Christian. We have the right to be the next lawyer who's a Christian. We have the right to be the next governor, sheriff, deputy, whatever. That is a Christian. So when you are talking to people and you try to tell them something, don't be mad at them if they don't say what you want to say. I mean, okay. I'll tell you a good recipe that goes good. Get you some lima beans, the big bag of lima beans. This is recipe of the day. Get you some lima beans, cook them, boil them. Get you the big lima beans, and the giant ones, and about the quarter size kind, and boil them in some water. Put in there some dried onions, that you shake out, and some of that garlic and onion, Mrs. Dash. Cook that a while. While you're cooking that, you can get a crock pot, fill it with water. And when you fill it with water, get you one of those half-a-hams that you see in the frozen food section of a grocery store. Get one of them and put it in the crock pot water that's in the crock pot. And then when you do that, then you take and turn that on till the ham is finished cooking. It already should be fully cooked, but it finishes it out to a flavor. When it is done, take pieces of the cooked ham, put it in your lima beans, and then eat the rest of the ham on the side as a side meat. And you could have some biscuits or rolls or croissants. You could add some more to it if you want to, maybe a sugar-free dessert. I recommend sugar-free dessert. Go to Walmart, look in the sugar-free dessert section of the deli, and they'll have some good ones for you. I had a hold of a box that had 4 muffins in it. One type of muffins was banana and one type was blueberry. So there was 2 blueberries and 2 bananas, and they were good, and they're sugar-free. Well, thank you for listening and spending time with me, and I hope you tune in. I'll try to do on the regular schedule Saturday.